think I got it loose. Whoa! This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Welcome to the channel. My name's Tom. I travel the US digging up artifacts. Today I'll be working west of Fargo, North Dakota in a small town called Air. During pioneer times there was a hotel that stood there near the train tracks. It was called the Hotel McKay. The place was built around 1900 and was active until it burned in the 1930s. This was all located on a main rail line that headed out west, so this place saw all kinds of traffic. I've got a good feeling about this. When locating a place to dig, I try to imagine what the grounds looked like way back when. So the hotel would have been right up on the street. The back of it would have likely been about where the back of the house was. Back here is where a lot of the activity would have taken place. People would have been coming back here, going to the stable, using an outhouse, getting water from a well. I noticed back here by the lilac bush there was a sunken area. I pushed a probe rod through the ground. I felt some objects and compaction differences. If you look close, you'll see I marked the corners with some sticks. We'll see how it goes. I think we're into something good. This is a very old perfume bottle. I'd say this thing's 100 years old, likely from the 1920s, has like an Art Deco style. Down here we've got a few pieces exposed. You'll see this clay layer, this kind of tan color. The dirt here is like a black almost, so this is disturbed ground. There's all kinds of stuff in here. What do we have here? Lucky Tiger for scalp, eczema, and dandruff. Lucky Tiger Remedy Company, Kansas City, Missouri. That's cool. You know, I've dug these before. That's an awesome name. I heard something down here. My trowel clicked against it, but I'll get this stuff out first. Looks like a cold cream container. Oh, mentholatum. Okay, this was very popular back in the turn of the century, into the 1920s, 30s. It had a menthol effect. You could put it on skin, burns, itches, relieved them. All kinds of roots. And here's a little bottle that just flipped out. Looks like a cork top piece. Could have been like an iodine. Would have had a paper label on it. Looks like an old beer bottle. Oh yeah, you can see this has the bale top. Now these could have been specially ordered like this, or it could have been added on later, just when the bottle was reused. But this is pre-prohibition. I'd put it at somewhere between 1910 and 1920. This could really be something. I was digging and this cap flipped out. Looks like it's brass. And just underneath it was this container. Looks like it might be made of brass. I'm not sure. It's lodged into this clay cap layer, and I'm working around this piece of metal. It's got to be careful. I think I got it loose. Whoa! This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's an old lamp. Look at that. It's got a fuel gauge on it. It's still got a cork on the fuel gauge. Look at that. I think this thing's brass. You know, I wonder if it's an old like railroad lamp. I'll have to clean this up and see if there's any markings on it. I was clearing some dirt out and noticed something shiny. This is a gold pocket watch. I dumped some water on it to clean it off. It's got this iron leaf design on the back. This thing's well over 100 years old. It looks like the face may have broken, smashed in, so they discarded it, or it was dropped down here by mistake. This is definitely gold, either rolled gold or it could be gold plated, but it definitely has some weight to it. This is no doubt one of my coolest finds. Looks like I'm getting through the cap layer and I see some embossing.
do we have? Oh, a Ham's soda, I believe. So that's from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah, look at that. That's a really nice design on the shoulder. What's interesting about this, so Ham's, they're known for beer, but during Prohibition, they survived by bottling soda, other soft drinks. So this is likely from the early Prohibition era.
Looks like another kind of a soft drink bottle. You know, could have held some kind of mineral water or maybe a soda of some sort. It's filled with groundwater now. There's all kinds of stuff down here. Okay, a liquor bottle. So that indicates pre-Prohibition. I think we're right on that edge of the Prohibition era. It was also the Spanish flu era. I noticed this pit was capped off really deep. It could have had something to do with the Spanish flu. Yeah, this pit is loaded. And another liquor bottle. Another pre-Prohibition piece. It's early machine made. A broken soda bottle from the Western Bottling Works of Moorhead, Minnesota. This is an oldie. I'd say this thing dates back to about 1915. Oh, this looks unusual. That's something you don't see every day. A light bulb filled with groundwater. Made by the National Mazda Company. This used to be Edison Mazda. I believe General Electric was involved to some degree. It's amazing. And it looks like some kind of enamelware kettle. Maybe a tea kettle of some sort. I find these every once in a while. Let's see. Plenty of rust down here. Oh, looks like it's got the lid on it. Don't want to break it. Wow. Look at that. That's something. That's probably late 1800s. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how well this enamelware preserves metal. There's actually some kind of tin it's made out of. Makes me wonder why it was thrown out. Maybe damage to the bottom or something along those lines. Huh. You know, when you're out treasure hunting, I heard somewhere God didn't make anything round, perfectly round, and to always keep an eye out. So yeah, most things around are man-made. Looks like a button, some kind of brass button, maybe off of a coat. pit is absolutely loaded. Seems like everything's kind of intertwined here. Oh yeah, likely a pre-prohibition pit. We've got a machine-made crown top beer. And another liquor flask. It's possible they were serving drinks here at the hotel. Oh yeah, and a drinking glass. Looks like a pressed, machine-made, something along those lines. And a beer. No markings on it. Has some groundwater. I can hear more stuff down there. Looks like a whiskey bottle, or a liquor bottle anyway. These would have held brandy or whiskey. This is something else. Look at all this stuff. 1 pint full measure. You can see on the shoulder there. And this one, you know, might actually okay, I thought it had a tooled top, but it's a early machine-made piece, pre-prohibition. This pit is absolutely loaded. It looks like we might have an Art Deco style soda bottle. Whoa! Fargo Bottling Works Company. This thing's wild. Fargo, North Dakota. Look at that, you know? I don't think I've ever dug one of these. That's got one of the coolest patterns on it I've ever seen. I'm guessing this dates back to the 1920s sometime, Prohibition era. Is this thing silver? Chrome? Looks like it might be some kind of syringe or something. I can't say for sure. It's still metallic after all these years though. No way! An intact lamp! This is one of the wildest pits I've ever dug. Look at that thing. Looks mint. It's got groundwater in it. It's holding water anyway. And a light bulb. So, yeah, these light bulbs are significant. Shows this place had electric lights early on. This was early for this part of the country. I don't see any maker's marks on this thing. It looks modern. You know, it's a modern style. But the glass is actually somewhat wavy, kind of crude. Looks like a broken soda bottle. Huh. Yeah, another beer. Looks like a pre-prohibition piece. What do we have? Grain Belt. Classic. Yeah, it's the same company that's still in business today. Survived Prohibition. Huh. Some kind of a brass piece. I wonder what this thing is. If anyone knows, drop a comment. Alright, so this could be good here. It looks like we've got a crock or a jug of some sort. There's it's kind of green colored glass I'm working at. It looks like it could be a soda bottle, but maybe like a half size or something. It's really wedged in. There's all kinds of stuff here. Just got to be careful not to break anything. What is this thing? That's a narrow soda type bottle. This is some kind of Prohibition era thing. It would have had a paper label on it, I suppose. Could have been from a local bottling works. And a ketchup bottle. So it's possible they had a restaurant being run out of the hotel. Okay, a jelly jar. It's got that mark on the bottom. I forgot what glass company that's from, but I see it a lot. It could have also just been a drinking glass. Broken soda. And another machine-made ketchup bottle. This piece might take a little work to get out here, but so far it's looking good. Looks like a crock. Gotta be careful. There's all kinds of broken glass down there. I don't want to cut myself. Now this piece looks like it's zinc glazed. I know there is one from this town that has a local company name embossed. That would be a holy grail. Look at that. No markings on it, but that's beautiful. It's amazing to me how many intact pieces were thrown down. I wonder if the Spanish flu could have had something to do with it. Now, there's no markings on the side, but I don't think there's anything on the bottom either. Could have been Red Wing. Oh, looks like a pharmaceutical bottle filled with groundwater. Yeah, it's a machine-made piece. Oh, look at that. See all those specks? Those are undigested seeds. That's a good indicator we're digging in an old outhouse pit. These were a treasure trove of artifacts. People would just go to the outhouse and throw their junk down the pit back in the day. What do we have here? Oh, classic Hainer whiskey. Distillery, Troy, Ohio. These are some of the most common whiskey bottles I find in the valley. They were likely one of the most popular brands in the country back in the day. This is pre-Prohibition. And a soda bottle. Anything on it. Another blank one. That's wild. So it's a Crown Top soda bottle. Definitely a Prohibition drink. It's yeah, maybe even as early as 1915. I haven't found the edge of this thing yet. Uncovered all these bottles. Here we go. This one's got a tooled top. I think it might be a liquor bottle of some sort. The age is getting better. This thing's probably closer to 1910. Look at, they're just stacked in here. We got this little jar. It's got the mark of the Illinois Glass Company on the bottom, that eye and a diamond. It's a machine-made piece, 1910s, I suppose. Whoa! J.R. Watkins Company. I've never dug a Watkins bottle like this before. It's got a wide mouth. I wonder if it had some kind of like powder or some kind of thicker liquid inside of it. This is something, probably 1920 as well. Half pint, pre-prohibition liquor flask, 1910 to 1920. Solid use layer. There it is. So we're digging on the McKay Hotel lot, and there's a Homer Laughlin hotel china. This stuff was more durable than the semi-porcelain stuff. You can see it's thicker. It's kind of plain, but it was durable. Machine-made liquor flask. It's got some groundwater in it. And another old light bulb. These things are cool. Again, I'm amazed that the hotel had electricity this early. Here we go. The first prescription bottle out of here. That's a machine-made piece, screw top, circa 1920. Oh hey, another Western Bottling Works soda bottle. This one's got the pry-off cap. This thing's from Moorhead, Minnesota, circa 1925. And another Watkins bottle. Another machine-made piece, circa 1915. Looks like a ginger ale. Could be an old 7-Up bottle. You know, the original 7-Ups had a paper label around the shoulder. It's actually called a bib label, and the original name for 7-Up was the bib labeled lithiated lemon lime soda. Not sure I've ever seen one with an original label though. This bottle's been sticking out long enough. Another pre-prohibition liquor flask, early machine made. Oh hey, tooled top prescription bottle. It's a Rex Oval. See, it has Rex on the bottom. I believe this was made by the Aubert Nestor Glass Company, possibly in St. Louis. Maybe we'll get an embossed one of these today. That's a broken water bottle. This is significant because they were likely serving water, drinks here at the hotel and the restaurant. So this would have been some kind of spring water ordered in by jugs, probably by rail car. And another, okay, a machine-made cedar bottle. I believe this was a furniture polish. And this company, or this brand anyway, is still sold today. Huh, Jacob Rees, Shakopee, Minnesota. I'm amazed at the soda bottles we're finding in this thing. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Jacob Rees crown top with a slug plate like that. This thing dates back to about 1915. You can see this is a solid use layer. This was a well-used outhouse pit. Oh, looks like a liquor bottle. Might actually be English made. Looks machine made, pre-prohibition. Looks like a machine made beer bottle. This is in that cap layer, so this might actually be prohibition era. Could be like a near beer. It's clear. Usually the other ones are aqua, the prohibition era pieces, or pre-prohibition era. Alright, now this, wow, some kind of a rake it looks like. Yeah, the head of a rake. The wood must have broke, so they discarded it. Oh wow, look at this. I think we have an Art Deco soda bottle. Get some of these roots out of the way. There's a bottle next to it here. Looks like a medicine of some sort. 4-ounce net, made by the Illinois Glass Company. Yeah, it could have been a medicine or an extract, likely a medicine. All right. Look at that. That is beautiful. American Bottling Works, Grand Forks, North Dakota. I have only seen one other example of this, and I actually grew up near Grand Forks. This is a rare one. This is a very rare Art Deco soda. It looks like some kind of a enamelware piece. These designs never cease to amaze me. Looks like it has like a blue and white pattern to it. Might take a little bit to get this thing out. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a nice one, like a cooking pot or something. It's got a beautiful blue color. Oh, these things are awesome. And a prescription bottle, Lyric style, made by the Illinois Glass Company. I would have had a paper label on the front of it there. Oh wow. Okay, this is an opium vial. Look at that. Yeah, this held well, mainly opium. Sometimes it was marketed as another name, but Yeah, more or less opium. Would have had a cork sealing it. What do we have here? Wow. So this is it's machine made. It's a Pluto water. It's a machine made blob top Pluto water bottle. Look at that thing. And to a solid use layer, as you can see by the color. And we've got a soda. American Bottling Association, Fargo, North Dakota. You can see it's got that ABA pattern. They've had that from the beginning. So yeah, there was definitely a restaurant, maybe a saloon serving drinks here. This thing's circa 1915. Another old light bulb. No maker's mark on this thing. Almost an Edison style. Machine-made liquor flask. A full pint. Likely a pre-prohibition. And a beer bottle. Machine made at 1910 to 1920. Looks like another soda. This is something else. Another Jacob Rees bottle, Shakopee, Minnesota, circa 1915. I wonder how far across this pit goes. This is a big one. Okay, another Pluto water. That's wild to see a machine-made blob top. That's not common. A chemical bottle. Looks like it has a pry-off cap made by the Illinois Glass Company. Okay, it's a beer bottle. This one's a tooled top. No embossing on it, but see, it looks like the top could have been sabered off. Sometimes they would open them with a knife or some kind of object like that, and it would break it clean off. Okay, I think I found the edge of it. Still haven't found bottom though. 1 pint, a pint-sized liquor flask. And it looks like another maybe soda, some sort, maybe a mineral water. We've had a paper label. Huh. Could be a Med or Watkins. Another J.R. Watkins company bottle. These held extracts, medicines. And a cork top made by the Illinois Glass Company. Some kind of a extract or medicine, probably a medicine. Listerine, Lambert Pharmaceutical Company. Found a lot of these over the years. It's the same product still being sold today. And a machine-made beer. Pre-Prohibition, circa 1910 to 1920. This corner here is just packed. There we go. Marvelous Cold Cream, Richard Hudnut, New York. I've found Richard Hudnut products before. I've never seen one like this though. That's an interesting embossing pattern. Another pre-Prohibition beer, RS. Never seen that before. If anyone knows what that stands for, drop a comment. Otherwise, there's no other markings. Would have had a paper label on the front. Another light bulb. No markings on this thing. It's cool how well preserved the filament is inside of it. You see that brass color? And a liquor flask, full pint, filled with groundwater. And another one, damaged maybe from when it was thrown down the pit all those years ago. Watkins. Alright, this one's got the block embossing on it. It's usually the script embossing and the block embossing. I believe this one's earlier, dates to about 1915. We're running out of room up here to put stuff. It's just falling in. Barrel hoop. Alright, yeah, another pre-Prohibition liquor flask. Little groundwater in it. This is a big piece here. Oh wow, this might be intact. I wonder if it might be a water pitcher or a chamber pot. Here's a cold handled sad iron. These were heated up and then a cold handle was put onto it so that the handle wouldn't heat up and burn whoever's picking it up. These were commonly sold by Mrs. Potts. Mrs. Potts cold handled sad irons. Still haven't found bottom. It's intact. Look at that. It's a chamber pot. Homer Laughlin. They made a lot of hotel china. So see, it is cracked on the bottom. That could have been why it was thrown, but it could have just been dropped down by mistake when it was being emptied into the outhouse. That's amazing. I was looking at the side. I saw a couple pieces sticking out here. This thing was filled with groundwater. I think it's some kind of a condiment container. H.J. Heinz company on the bottom. This is filled with some nasty smelling liquid. I'll get this out of here. This thing was definitely repurposed. I think it's filled with maybe castor oil or something. But there's a few more pieces in here. No, some kind of a English whiskey bottle, early machine made. And another liquor bottle, 1 quart. It's held whiskey or brandy. Working my way across bottom. And here it is, the mark of the hotel, these soap dishes. So this one's, yep, Homer Laughlin hotelware. I found these soap dishes in nearly every hotel pit. They would have had, you know, baths and all that there, so they broke once in a while and threw them down the outhouse. And it looks like a beer bottle, machine made, 1910 to 1920. Down here in the corner, from the edge, I guess. Yeah, there it is. Virginia Dare. You can see it's very faintly embossed. This was a Prohibition era drink. It was, if I remember correctly, non-alcoholic. And they sold it through Prohibition. And another beer bottle. Another machine-made piece. Again, 1910 to 1920. Huh. A little ball neck panel, medicine or extract. It's a machine-made piece. This pit's done.
Here's the haul. This was monumental. I am truly blown away. We got so much stuff here. I concluded it was an outhouse pit used by the hotel circa 1920, just before Prohibition, into Prohibition. Got some prescription bottles, some Watkins, the gold pocket watch, ketchup bottles, the jelly jar light bulbs, an oil lamp, all those soda bottles just from all over the place, those Pluto waters, some liquor bottles, liquor flasks, Virginia Dare wine, a sad iron, beer bottles, and all these big pieces. We got a coffee kettle, a chamber pot, cooking pot, crock, and that metal oil lamp. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in. Well, that cleaned up extremely well. I was walking around looking for another spot, being that didn't even get close to the start of this hotel as far as the age goes. Now, right over here, I think I found another spot. Pushed a probe rod through the ground. Felt some artifacts down there. We'll get this thing opened up.
Well, this seems promising. Looks like a couple soda bottles. We dug through a bunch of ashes, some coal ash, and already getting into some kind of use layer here. It's a really soft ground. There we go. American Bottling Association, Fargo, North Dakota. That's a tooled crown top. This thing dates back to about 1905. We got this green bottle here too. It looks like it might be English made. Almost looks like an old export style Coca-Cola. So it's an early machine made English piece. Like I said, it could have been an early Coca-Cola. Without a label, there's no way of knowing. American Bottling Company, Grand Forks, North Dakota. This bottle is never sold. This is the first type of bottle this company used. See, it's got the slug plate on it. I want to say they started in 1906, right around there. So this dates back to then. And a little drugstore bottle. Oh, that's a tiny one. No markings on it. But yeah, this would have held a prescription from a local drugstore. I'd put this one at 1905, 1910, like the other pieces. I haven't found bottom yet. I found a couple broken lamp chimneys. Guessing we're in that 1910 era. Okay, an applied top. An applied crown top ale or splits bottle. I'm fairly certain this is English made with the applied crown. Huh. Got some ironstone china here. Oh wow, look at that. It's an old creamer. Alfred Meakin, England. You know, it's some kind of English ironstone piece. That's really something. It's got to be well over 120 years old. Huh. And a jeweled crown top, Red Raven. Okay, it was Red Raven Splits. I believe it was some kind of laxative water. This one again is that 1910 era. Another one of these lamp chimneys. It's got looks like a pearl top on this thing. Dates back to about 1910. I'm not sure if I found bottom yet. I thought I did on one side, but then this side dropped further. Looks like some kind of a pharmaceutical piece. You know, it might have a tooled top on it. It's got a threaded top. We've got a paper label. It looks like a extract bottle. Yeah, full of groundwater. It's got a ball neck. Looks like it's dating back to about 1905. I found the bottom, most of the size. I'm cleaning out the last piece here. Looks like oh, that's nice. It's a amber Sanford's ink bottle. These are almost always aqua, so these other colors are unusual. This pit's done. Here's the haul. I concluded this pit had been dipped or cleaned out way back when. Fortunately, some pieces were left down here.
Got a ironstone china pitcher, that lamp chimney, a pharmaceutical piece, a ball neck panel bottle, some inks, some splits bottles, and those sodas. Everything dated back to about 1910. There you have it.